What's up guys, I'm back with another video. As you can tell, I've now moved out of my university accommodation and back at home. Not the best circumstances to film at, but I'm back with another video, and in this video we will be analysing the performance and the game of Jack Grealish over the last couple of seasons. He has turned into an absolute world beater at Aston Villa and now playing for England at the Euros. I'm a personal massive fan of his. He's one of my favourite players in football. So we're just going to have an in-depth look at the way he plays, some of his stats, and have a look at a few clips and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So guys, let's have a look at some of his basic stats for the season. All competitions, Premier League, 6 goals and 10 assists. For the amount of minutes and appearances he had, it's good going. He had an injury towards the end of the season, put him out for about 2 or 3 months. Let's get into double figures for assists. Very good, form man of the matches, Aston Villa's best player by far throughout the season. Average rating of 7.56, consistently brilliant. Really impressed with his numbers, because a lot of Jack Grealish's game is sort of behind the scenes and isn't shown with basic stats. You need to look deeper. He is the heart of the Aston Villa team. He is involved in absolutely everything they do. If it's not an assist, it'll be a pre-assist or whatever you call them. If it's not a goal, he'll somehow be involved in the build-up, and he will affect the game. And he's an outlet for Aston Villa in the fact that you just know to look out on that left and you'll find him. He'll create space, he'll hold on to the ball, he'll keep it, he might win a foul, he might beat a man, get the ball in the box. He's such a reliable player. But I'm really impressed with the stats this season, considering how long he was out for. I mean the first few months of the season he was outstanding. Couldn't really produce much towards the end when he came back from his injury, but can't blame him for that. But yeah, let's just have a look at his heat map. As you can see there, played most of the games on the left hand side, with a 3 behind the striker or of a front 3, putting inside on that right foot, whipping crosses in, whipping shots towards that far post. Even though he was out on that left, he was always involved. He'd love to just drift into the centre and get involved. A couple of times you see him out on that right hand side, but I mean, he takes up the whole of that left hand side of the penalty box there. You'll see later on in the video some of the more in-depth stats about his ball carries and getting into the box and stuff, but he just dominates that left hand side. And his stats: 24 started out of 26, 84 minutes per game, 5 times in team of the week. So solid season. But let's have a look at some clips. So starting off against Fulham, the win away at Craven Cottage, making that run into the space on the left hand side, beating a man or getting towards a man, cutting it back, sets up a goal. Classic Grealish again, putting the ball in the box, direct, early, catching the defenders off guard, sets up a goal. Against Southampton again, gets the ball, beats a man, cuts in on his right, long range shot, leaves the keeper standing. Brilliant from Grealish. Again, making those runs to the byline, cutting the ball back. This time it doesn't end in a goal, but it's the same runs, and I love this run here. Picks up the ball, beats a man, beats another, just gliding across the pitch, gliding past players, and nearly results in a goal. What a goal that would have been. Again against Burnley, gives the ball, darts into the box, give and go on the end of it to finish it off. And this one I really like. He waits, then goes, invites the challenge. That's why he wins so many fouls. And he wins the red card. It probably shouldn't have been a red, but he knew what he was doing there, Grealish, and it's smart play. And in the same game, running at the byline, running at defenders, setting up again, just puts it wide. But this clip here, wins the penalty, just running at players, beating them, not being afraid. wins the penalty which El Ghazi puts away. So I'm just going to have a look at some stats over the last 2 seasons in the Premier League. That season just finished, and 2019-20. I'm going to look at his total stats then per 90, because as you know, he was out quite a lot this season with an injury. He had a 3-month injury, and so we compare that sort of to other players in the Premier League and in Europe on his per 90 stats rather than total stats. So I've put how many minutes he played over both seasons there. I think it was split about 3,000 to 2,000 in each season. Goals 14, assists 15. Quite good considering Aston Villa, a team that were fighting relegation up until the last day in 2019-20, survived on the final day thanks to a Jack Grealish goal. So sort of on the face of it, when you compare the goals and assists to the top players in Europe, he's not up there. But the fact that he's got to be sort of the goal scorer and the creator in the team, to get 14 goals and 15 assists over 2 seasons, including a season where he was out for about 3 months, is very good. 0.23 per 90 and 0.25 per 90 respectively. Solid for a player in a team such as Aston Villa. Obviously no disrespect to them, they've had a very good season. The season just finished, but still some solid stats there. Dribbles completed 132, 2.19 per game. I couldn't quite find the figure for the ranking Premier League in Europe for that as well, but 2.19 completed per game, I'd imagine is very good. I'd imagine his success rate is quite high if you don't include times where he's been fouled, as you'll see further down the list how often that happens. Expected goals and expected assists. Obviously his expected goals isn't the best, but again, like I said, he's Aston Villa's main creator. He can't do everything. As much as he tries to, he can't do everything. And in a team which was fighting relegation the season before. Expected assists though very good, 15.32, 0.25 expected assists per game, the same as his actual assists. Very good figures for him. And then we're going to get into some stats which I can compare to other players. Key passes 179, 2.9 per game, first in the Premier League, second in Europe behind the only Lionel Messi. And I mean, all of these are absolutely incredible. Key passes for a player, like I said, who was playing in a team which didn't perform very well in 1920. And again, even a team this season which didn't finish in Europe, around mid-table in the Premier League, to get ranked first in key passes and second in Europe behind the greatest player of all time. It's just incredible. Fouls won there, 303 fouls won over 2 seasons, 5.03 per game, 5 fouls winning per game. That just shows his ability to draw tackles in, keep the ball, get his body between the ball and the man, and win free kicks. Not just free kicks in his own half, but free kicks high up the pitch which create goal scoring opportunities. And that's going to be extremely important, especially to England in the Euros this summer, with the free kick specialists that we have on offer. But first in Europe for winning free kicks is absolutely crazy. Just shows how underrated he is. Progressive carries, 697 over 2 seasons, 11.6 per game. So progressive carries, obviously carrying the ball forward, progressing up the pitch. First in the Premier League, second in Europe. So again, absolutely crazy. Carries into the final third, very self-explanatory, 221, 3.67 per game. First in the Premier League once again, second in Europe behind only Lionel Messi, and carries into the penalty box. 143, 2.3 in Europe, first both in the Premier League and in Europe, beating the likes of Lionel Messi. To carries into the penalty box for, again, a team that obviously will not have as much of the ball and won't attack as much as some of the top teams in the Premier League and in Europe, and he's first. Absolutely crazy. It's just, these stats blow my mind when, you know, people talk about Jack Grealish. People know how good of a player he is. You don't hear bad things about him. It's not about people thinking he's not very good. It's people do not realise the scale on which he is performing consistently for a team which is nowhere near the level the top teams in the Premier League and in Europe are, and he is ranking first and second in Europe for some of these stats which aren't some of your basic stats. They're more in-depth, and they're important and they're relevant to success at the top level, and he is performing at the highest level, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing because he is so underrated. Even though he is rated highly, he is still so underrated. He should be in the conversation up there with some of the best players in England and some of the best players in Europe, because, I mean, these stats show it. I've not just picked random stats. I've picked relevant stats to players who play in his position, and he absolutely blows them all out of the water, apart from Lionel Messi, who beats him in a few of them. It's just absolutely crazy. So that is it on my analysis of Jack Grealish. I hope you've enjoyed the video. We've had a look at some of his stats, some clips, and just have a look at the way he plays. And I hope now you understand as much as I do how good of a player he is, and how not only does he compare to the top players in the Premier League, but how he compares to the top players in Europe. As you see at the end there, up against Lionel Messi, and some stats beating him in some of them. It's just absolutely crazy how good he is, and he's not necessarily underrated by the fact that people say he's not a good player. He is respected as a very good player, but people don't realise the scale on which he is performing in a team which is regarded as not one of the top teams in England, and he is putting up numbers that are competing with the best in Europe. So I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I'll do more videos like this in the future. Please check out my previous videos, analysis of Marcelo Bielsa in Leeds United, analysis of Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea, and I'll have some more videos coming for you in the future. But please like, comment and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.